A couple of days ago, my kids found a passage in 2 Samuel chapter 10 that they thought was hilarious. And so we read through it at the supper table. It goes like this in 2 Samuel chapter 10. When David's men came to the land of the Ammonites, the Ammonite nobles said to Hanun their lord, "Do you think David is honoring your father by sending men to express sympathy? No, hasn't David sent them to you to explore the city, to spy it out, to overthrow it?" And so Hanun seized David's men. He shaved off half of each man's beard, and he cut off their garments in the middle at the buttocks and sent them away. There's some stuff going on there that we can't understand culturally, but there is some principles that continue on even today. That was embarrassing. Beards were a real sign of respect. On the footnotes on the NIV, when you shave off a beard, it's out of grief. It's out of some kind of loss. And so to shave half of it off was embarrassing. To cut a hole in their garments in the middle of the buttocks, embarrassing. And to send them away like that, with their tail between their legs, sort of. But as you go through the rest of that passage, there's something that I think is very applicable for us today. These same men had to come back to David and re-up what they were going to do. And as they did that, they made some promises to each other that I think we can hold on to. Verse 9 says, Joab saw that there were battle lines in front of him and behind him, and so he selected some of the best troops in Israel and deployed them against the Arameans. This is the same guy who just had his beard shaved, his garment cut. He put the rest of the men under the command of Abishai, his brother, and he deployed them against the Ammonites. Then Joab said, "If the Arameans are too strong for me, then you are to come to my rescue. But if the Ammonites are too strong for you, then I will come to rescue you. Be strong, and let us fight bravely for our people and for the cities of our God. The Lord will do what is good in his sight." These guys had been embarrassed. They had been through some tough things, and they were now facing all sides being surrounded. And so what do? They make covenants with each other. The application here, I think, is fairly clear. If we're going to get through this, we need each other. One of the things at Living Water is that we want each of you to feel empowered to care for each other, to reach out to someone, to send an email, to send a quick text message. Hey, how you doing? Don't wait for a pastor to do that. Don't wait for a care elder to do that. You do that. Care for each other. We have to rely on one another to be the hands and feet of Jesus Christ, and we have to believe that the Lord will do what is good in his sight in that. A couple of update things for Wednesday, October 21. Just a reminder that we keep doing K through 5 during the sermon. We ask that group to exit out, and then they go meet in the large room just to the back of the worship center. That allows them to have a little more time for small group after the service, and it allows them to focus on an age-appropriate lesson. Now, maybe you're thinking, I want my kid to be in on the sermon, or we couldn't be here last week. We don't want to fall behind. You can catch up. You can see the lessons that they're doing at home. You can even do the online learning at home through Right Now Media. And if you haven't had that access, go ahead and email susandykstra@gmail.com. That's Sue. That's our children's director. She'll get you hooked up with Right Now Media for those kids' lessons. The little treasures continue to exit during that time as well. 3, 4, and 5-year-olds. They've been meeting upstairs in that upper room, and it's been going really well. A couple of things that you may have seen. We did an email, got sent out a couple of days ago. We're working on getting coffee back up and running. Rhonda from the hospitality side needs some volunteers to help with that. So if you're interested in helping there, go ahead and shoot her an email. We're getting that process of coffee back together in the next couple of weeks. Right now, we're doing the Everybody Always series. If you didn't sign up for a book, if you didn't sign up for the study, no problem. You saw a week of it and now you want to be involved. That's awesome. Give me an email. Give Amber Notaboom an email, and we'll work on getting you a book. It might be a couple days. We'll have to order a couple more, but we'll get it to you. And maybe you're not wanting to read the book. Maybe you're not wanting to be in that study, but you're wanting a little bit more of this Everybody Always author and Bob Goff as a speaker. Then you can go to Right Now Media and you can actually see the lessons that those session guides are going through. If you don't know how to hook up with Right Now Media, you can either send me an email and I can walk you through it, or just go to forallwhothirst.com, and over on the right hand side there is a sign up for Right Now Media. Follow that page. The nomination process keeps moving along behind the scenes. We're asking and we're praying through the names that are on the nomination list. I just want to ask you to continue to pray for that. Continue to pray that the right people would say yes, that God would lift up the leaders for such a time as this. And then finally, what are we going to talk about on Sunday? We're going to talk about Matthew 16, verses 13 through 20, where Peter is told that he is a rock on which Christ is going to build the church upon. That's a really high calling for a guy who has shown some glimpses of not being that well thought out. Sometimes he speaks before he thinks through, and yet this is the same guy that Christ makes a leader in his church. And so what we're going to look at in that is the identity kind of thing. What does Christ see in us? And then how do we see that in someone else? We're looking for the best characteristics. We're looking for the image of God that carries through us and through others. And that changes how we interact with people then. If I see you as made in the image of God, then I have to love you. There's no way that I can't give you what God gave me. So we're going to talk about Matthew 16, verses 13 through 20. Go ahead and read that and make sure that you're coming prepared for Sunday. You can check us out online, YouTube channel. You can follow all the updates on Facebook. You can text 8101 to @LWCC20, and you can get all text updates as well. Whatever it is, just stay connected. Whatever it is, keep praying for each other. Keep looking out for each other like Joab and David did so long ago. I hope to see you on Sunday, whether physically or online. Grace, mercy, and peace to you.